Southern Couture, and today we are going to be going through the next 2 weeks of the 100 Days of Less Hustle, More Jesus devotional journal, and I'm going to show you my entries that I did in the journal and also in my journaling Bible that I've been working through. So down below in the description, you're going to find tons of information if you are totally new to these 100-day challenge books and you've never seen this and you're interested. I have a video that talks all about the journal in much more detail. Also, I have a video where I flipped through the first 2 weeks of the journal, and now we're on day 15 through 28, and that's what I'm going to do here today. I've also designed tons of printables to go along with the book that you'll find in my Etsy shop, and there's links to that down below as well. So for this video though today, we're going to be talking a little bit about real life. So I try to be very transparent in my videos. If I make a mistake, I usually just leave the mistake there. I don't mess with it because I like to show that, you see a pretty picture maybe on Instagram or a nice little video and think that, everybody's entries are just so perfect and nothing ever goes wrong, or their lives are so perfect, because that's how social media kind of can make things look. Well, today I'm going to be very transparent. So a couple funny things I will share, but first I'm going to start out and show you. I'd had lots of requests for new printables for the second month of the book, and so what I did with the first month, and I'll leave a link to it down below. If you haven't grabbed yours yet, you can head to the blog post that's on my blog and see the free printables. So I designed for the first month these little grid blocks in different colors that coordinate, and also these little title starters or word fetty, and it goes for the first 30 days. Those like they go in order pretty much for the most part, and it has words and topics that go with each day, and so I've used those a lot for my entries, as I've shown y'all before. And so these little blocks, they're great for putting titles on or writing out a prayer, and I used them in my journaling Bible. Well, y'all wanted to know, was I going to have another set for the next 30 days? And I do. Those are now live in the Etsy shop. Head over there if you want to grab them. The link is down below, and I'll show you what they look like. They are part of the More Rest collection. The first set of printables was Rest Over Hustle, and so this one is More Rest, and I'm going to show you what those look like. So this time I thought it would be a lot of fun to do something, change it up just a tiny bit. And so what I did was I have the word fetty in black and white and color. So how cool is that? I really love these colored ones. I think they are so fun, and my paper here is super shiny because I printed this on it's actually clear sticker paper from Cricut, but it's not matte. It's very glossy, and so it also reminds me of like a transparency sheet. So that's an idea. It made me think about using it like that and just leave the backing on it and don't make it into, don't use it as a sticker. But anyways, that's just another side note. I did black and I did colored ones, and I'll show you as I go through the book in a little bit how these match up really well. Well, I guess I could go ahead and show you what I really like about them, and then I promise I'm going to show you the other pages. But because I had so many people asking about these, I wanted to make sure that I showed you. Okay, so let's go over here to day, well, the first set went through day 30. So we start off with day 31, okay? And so I just pick a few words for it, and I want to show you because this way you'll understand as you're working through them. You're not searching the page all over trying to find the right word. Like this one is enjoy the ride, and it talks about, praise you, Lord, for setting me free from the endless cycle of striving. In you, I have all I will ever need. And so I just pull out some of the words that really stand out to me. So we have the word free and the word need, and those are the two words that go along with this. So it's really great if you want to use one word in here, one in a journaling Bible, if you're doing like me and doing an entry in both. You also have the option of doing like using these in here and the black ones to go in your Bible, or vice versa. So that's how it goes. And then what I've made sure to do is I wanted to make sure that each one of the words that goes with that page will color coordinate with the scheme, the color scheme that's already there. I just like for it to match. That's me personally. So like I wouldn't want to pull out this hot pink and made it the color for free, because it really just wouldn't go together with the page. So that's kind of how I did that. We'll flip over to day 32. You'll see I have good and thoughts. Those coordinate. Then we have share, control, and they coordinate. So the colors go along with the pages as well as the titles and the words, okay? So that was important to me to make it match. So we have the word fetties that you can get in a set, and then the other set are going to be the grid blocks. So you've got these grid blocks that match for the next month's color schemes. The next month we had more of the hot pink color. Like I've said before, the colors don't always show up the best on the video. So you head over to that to the Etsy shop and you'll see the colors in their true color over there. Because this is showing up more green, but this is really like, I have it as a more of a tealish color. Green, what's more like here on the cover. So anyways, one thing I wanted to say was that here's the real life. First thing, we'll start off. See how it printed like this? I put the paper in there and it didn't want to like pick it up or something. It was having a hard time and I just kept pushing it and it finally printed and it cut it off. So I'm going to use them anyway. So here's real life. I didn't reprint it. I'm not trying to hide it. What I'm going to do is probably use that as the one that I would just put like right here on the edge as if it had been cut off and kind of flying off the page. I do that sometimes anyway. So like, hey, thanks. It did it for me, right? So that's the first thing. But anyways, that's why it looks funny. And I wanted to mention that. But you get 2 pages with that. And so you have 16 here, 16 here. So you've got 32 grid blocks. You could print it twice. Use one in your Bible, one in your devotional. And so it gets you through more than just the next 30 days. So the words do go for days 31 through 60. So I hope you guys find those useful. So many of y'all loved those before, and they're just turning into one of my favorites to use because there's so many uses you can do with those. Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive in here, and we'll start looking at the next pages that I did for days 14 through 28. And let me get over here to my book first, and I'm going to clip this over. A lot of people get it coil bound. I didn't because I didn't do it with the first 2, and I just in particular I like to have them all look the same. Okay, so we have day 14. No, we did 14 already. I'm sorry, we're day 15. So beautiful you. Oh, I loved this page. I loved the way the style of the rainbow was, the colors there, and I used one of the little Beloved Society printables that I had. Love that little lady there. Just so many fun elements, and I loved using this mustardy color and the peachy tone. I just really love that, and it was also such a beautiful devotion talking about what true beauty is. Okay, I think every woman can really relate and benefit from that devotion. Here is the entry that I did in my Bible. Maybe I'll flip it this way. So I use a lot of the same elements as you've seen me do before. I've used the same tag here, this same sticker. I actually cut it off and then just used the other half there. Did my stenciling there, my highlighter washi. I go into a ton more detail in another video that's linked down below that talks all about the journal and supplies I pulled and printables and things like that. And it'll tell you a lot more about what I've pulled and why I use them in kind of a pattern that I stick to. So if you've missed any of that, check those other videos out, but I won't go into all that detail again here for those that have already seen it. I use the More or Less stamp set that came from Illustrated Faith. I love using that every day because it really brings to mind things that I need to focus on and things you wouldn't necessarily think of. When you pull that stamp set, it's like that brings them to mind. It's just crazy, and I love it. Okay, day 16, Believe in Possibility. Beautiful colors. I love these colors that we're pulling from the cover too. Really pretty. Used this little card here that came from like a stamp set that I got from Illustrated Faith, and it's probably the one that goes with this book, the More or Less one. But it was the card that's in the back of it with the packaging, and I just cut it out and used it there. This is one of my brushstroke highlighters that I printed to use because the color just matched so well. And you'll see how I'm using the grid block there to put my little title starter sticker. And then we've got day 16 in my Bible. I used one of the collage arts that goes with this book that I designed, and you can't see the background color, I don't think, real great. You can a little bit more like right here. It's a very light peachy tone. You can see it better in person, but I liked it. It's very subtle and just gives a nice little background color without being too overwhelming. And then just use some stamping, and all of this is also part of the pattern paper bundle, the washi. tape, and it really works great as highlighters as well when you print it on the clear sticker paper. And all the little details that you see there, that's all part of the collage arts. It's the stickers that are printed, so that just makes it so easy. So I really just put down a sticker, put down a tag with a sticker, stamped, stenciled, and that was it. Okay. I want this to be totally doable. I say that all the time, that I do feel like a broken record sometimes, but I hate when people feel like they it's just too much and they can't do it and they get overwhelmed, because it is so doable. It really is. If you just break it down and don't try to make it too perfect. That's my thing. Okay, day 17, we're talking about being grateful for it all. And I loved this one, and one thing I put on here was help me to stop climbing the fence to check out a neighbor's grass. She had talked about that in the devotional. It leaves you exhausted and empty. There's so much to be thankful for in our own lives if we'll just stop and look at it and put our perspective in a new place. So that's what I've done, or journaled here. I used one of these little tags from Illustrated Faith, some of the grid map washi that came with their Revival Camp kit right now, and these colors just go great. Pull your stash. I say it so much, but go through your stash, go through other devotionals you may be working through, and I bet you things will match and you can use them in more than one place. So it's a lot of fun. Here is this little speech bubble that's from my Etsy shop. I love using those just to put down a little prayer or journaling on the page. And used, this is highlighter washi, and that was also in one of the other entries I just did. I had some highlighter washi down. That is from Illustrated Faith and Dayspring. It's a it comes with like a ton of them that's rainbowed, and so you can use them for any page just about. They do say they're used as highlighter, so you can still read the text through them, but they're great to use just in your entries too, and I do that a lot. I want to say that as I'm talking about, that highlighter washi is actually on a big clearance sale right now with Dayspring, so make sure you check that out. I'll leave a link down below to the big Bible journaling sale that Dayspring's having. I've already talked about it so much. I won't go into a lot of detail because I have other video about it if you're interested, but you can use Bethany 25. That'll get you free shipping over a $25 purchase, and so it's a great way if you haven't got the journal yet. Like I said, if you're new and haven't seen this journal, you can use it toward that. The journal's not on clearance, but it does go toward your free shipping code, and there's just tons of the Bible journaling stuff on sale, including that washi. All right, let's go to day 18, changes and choices. This is a really good one too, and I loved how my entry came together that I journaled here. So we've got just lots of fun pieces that I pulled and put together. One of my grid blocks that I love, the color just pulls out some of the subtle colors that you see. I used one of the little tags here. These are flower pieces left over from Illustrated Faith's Wildflower kit, some stamping. This little piece you see here is also like one of those, I cut it out from packaging that I get from something from Illustrated Faith. So I always like to keep the packaging because it's so pretty, and you can reuse it in your journaling. And these colors just, you know, went along great with what was already on the page. Used the Wildflower washi from that devotional. And then on this entry here, same thing. I like to make a match. It just makes it easier. You don't have to think of doing two entries. And so I used another Wildflower piece, the same washi, the grid block, and then I used one of my washi tapes from the pattern paper bundle to put over my verse to really make it pop. Also, I want to mention, as you're going through and doing your entries, just keep your same colored ink if you want to, and even the same stamps on your block, so you can stamp, re-ink, and then stamp again. I don't always do that, but if you're pressed for time, it just helps you from having to stamp, then clean them up, get, you know, then change, get more ink, and so it just, you know, makes it quicker. Okay, now here is 19. And sometimes my entries are super simple, and like this one right here is pretty simple, and that's okay. So just do what works for you. We have Trust in His Timing. This one was called All in His Time, and I just used a grid block, a title starter, some of this grid washi from Illustrated Faith, another set of washi I had from an old kit, put a little prayer down, and did the same thing over here. Used a washi tape sticker that I had from my Etsy shop, and, you know, the grid block, and that was it. Okay, just keeping it simple. Oh, I loved this one right here. This one was day 20, Capturing Moments. I had fun with this one because I liked, it's just something simple, but I liked how it turned out. So I had these little stickers, and that had this sticker and this one from Illustrated Faith that they sent as a freebie with a purchase. And then down here was my highlighter no, not highlighter. It's like a highlighter washi, but this was from the pattern paper bundle, one of the washi tapes. And so I don't know why, but when you layer some of the transparent elements, it's almost like you get a third color there. And I just really liked how it looked, the way that the colors ended up. So just try stuff new sometimes and you'll be surprised how it turns out. And then over here, same thing. I cut off that purple little washi sticker and put it over here with a grid block, did some stamping. And this purple right here washi, that's part of that highlighter washi too. Okay, now let's go over here to day 21, and we're talking about all of you, all of him. Okay. And this one I said, my life is hidden in you. I loved using these little coral grid block with the washi sticker below and just a simple prayer. Did my stamping. You'll see what I'm talking about. I kept the same color for these, so I did have to just change out those stamps, but then I kept this one the same and it just made it easier so I'm not changing them so much. Another little washi sticker there, which is so fun. It makes that verse just pop. I love doing that. This green back here is a page starter of mine from my Etsy shop, and I just put that down for background color, just a little splash there with a grid block and the word title starters. So you'll see that these last entries right here are very, very simple. If you've noticed, the last few days have been super simple. I've kept it very much in a pattern with washi, a prayer, my grid blocks, my title starter, stamping, and that's it. And that's for a good reason. And that's my next thing I was going to talk about when we are talking about real life, because some things came up last week and I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to in here. I still wanted to be able to get in the Word and study, but I just couldn't do it. Some things came up and just wasn't happening. You guys know what I'm talking about sometimes when life happens. So for this one, I still love it, and they're beautiful entries, I feel like, and I'm not so concerned that I didn't get, like, I don't beat myself up because I didn't even get to get in the Word. At least I did, and I still have some really pretty entries, and I'm loving the way they're turning out. So keep that in mind. Don't feel like you have to do it all, okay? And then let's go to day 23, and, oh, let me find the right one. I don't want to go out of order here. Try to mark them in my Bible first. Okay, day 23, always enough. I have my life is in your hands. I need this reminder every single day when it feels like I'm drowning that I am enough. It's just been a great reminder for me here lately. And so I wanted to do, keep it the same. You don't always see a lot of purple. So when I saw this kind of shade of purple, I wanted to use these purple washi stickers that I had and this grid block that has a pinky purple tone, and, did some stamping. There wasn't a stamp I found for the word guilt. And instead of pulling out my other alpha stamps, I just wrote it in. Kept it simple. That's what I had time for. Okay, let's go to day 24. Do unto others. I love this color scheme and design on this one. I just love it. Shauna hit it out of the park with these little art marks and the colors that she's using together. I loved using them with my grid block that has that same pop of kind of coral, and then used this old washi tape from one of their kits that I had left over and did the same thing here. Grid block, stamping, washi, and then I had some of that washi tape from the highlighter washi that I used. Okay, day 25. Oh my goodness, there's nothing there. So that's the other part of what I wanted to talk about. Real life happens, guys. And that's what I wanted to tell y'all. Here's day 25, 26, 27, and 28. You'll see that I have not had a chance to complete these pages. And I'm a little saddened because when I say I'm going to come and do something and have a roundup and show you entries, I want to do that. And so I don't have those days done. And what I had thought about doing earlier was I thought, well, I'll just get them all done today. I'll do those 4 while my little one's napping, and I'll have them done, and then I can show them. Then something was like, no, don't do that. Don't rush through this book. After all, we're talking about resting in Jesus and taking time, less hustle. And the point of this is not to get through them and rush through them, to check them off and to be able to put a video together to show you guys. It's meant to go through and read and meditate on it and what it has for us. So I didn't rush through them. I didn't get them done because I wanted to be sure to get the video up so that you guys could see the new printables for the next days. And we're almost to day 31, and I didn't want you not to have them. I wished I'd already had them to you, but things happen. And one of those things is teething. Every mother hates to even hear that word, and that's what we've been dealing with this week. And so I don't have these few pages done, and I'm okay with that, and I hope you guys are okay. Well, give me some grace and let me know that I'm not the only one, that, you know, sometimes this happens too. So I don't have those days done. I'm hoping to get them done soon, but I'm not going to rush my way through it. 35 is partially done because I showed y'all a video working through using some printables there, but you know, I don't have those days done, and I'm going to show them to you in the next roundup video, and that will be back in the next 2 weeks, and I'll do that. But that is what I have for today, and I think sometimes it's good to be transparent and raw and honest with you guys, and you know, I don't want everyone to think that I always have it together all the time, because of course that is not the case. Majority of the time we don't, right? I'm not alone in that, and that's okay. And I want y'all to know you're not alone in it either. So I'm going to work through these. I just didn't want to rush through them and not even, you know, soak up what God has for me in those devotionals, just to get something done and get a video up. So here are the entries through day 24. Don't forget, guys, to go grab your new set of grid blocks and word fetty to go within those next 30 days to use for your title starters. So many of y'all are tagging me on Instagram so I can see them, and I love seeing them because it gives me inspiration. I've seen y'all do some fun things with them, layering them and other stuff that, you know, I wouldn't normally think to do. So keep that coming. Don't forget to check those out. That is whole collection is more rest, and that link to my Etsy shop is down below if you're interested in those. But let me know if you have any questions or anything in the comments. I'd be more than glad to answer those questions. Make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell button so that you'll be notified whenever I have new videos. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. I'll be back again very soon showing more in my 100 Days book, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.